She did that too. Yeah, I know. But she gave me physical props, just to make things a little more authentic. She would give me her precious cigarettes for all those scenes where Spike was smoking. And I tried to be cognizant of the fact that cigarettes cost money, so I would try to save them between sessions. And back then, before we had smartphones, we had these books, these calendar books, and the big thick leather thing. And I would take the cigarette and I'd carefully put it in a little pouch and save it for the next session. Every single time I'd open up the pouch and it'd just be flakes, the thing had fallen apart. And I'd go, Mary, I need another cigarette, I'm sorry. And she was so sweet about it. But she would do things like that so that it sounded authentic. If he had a cigarette in his mouth, I would have one in my mouth. We do things like that.
That's impressive. And it sounds like unique for the...
Yeah, I've never had that happen with any other director. Usually you stick your finger in your mouth or a pen or something, but no, that was the real deal.
I love it. I love that. Something you touched on about bebop and your personal life, and we know also in Mary's life how important music is. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I think we all love and adore, talking a lot about bebop, can't help it, anime, my favorite, so I'm biased. But I think broader than that, when we're talking about music and scoring and soundtracks, also Mugen, Samurai Champloo, amazing music in that anime. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Like, why are you so passionate about music, and what is it about that changes stories for you?
Well, when I'm recording, most of the time we don't get to hear the music. So Samurai Champloo, I never heard the music until I started watching it. I still haven't seen the whole thing. I'm sorry, I'm a bad fan. Every time I start watching it, I get interrupted and I'm going off somewhere in the world, so I have to keep starting over. But the music is awesome then. But we didn't have the benefit of that. In bebop, Mary would play a little bit of the music for us, and it would really set the tone for the scenes, and just magical. And I came from a musical background, so I resonated with that. In fact, I think that dubbing itself, if you do have a musical background, it really helps because language is musical, and the art of dubbing relies on being able to hit those beats when those mouth flaps are moving. It really is a lyrical, musical thing. So I played in an R&B funk band back in the 80s. We were the only one in town opening for heavy metal and hair bands, and had a lot of cheeseburgers thrown at us, and our equipment sabotaged. They hated us, and we would sell out the places too, so they hated us for that. And I loved playing music, but I hated the music industry. I was in the music industry for about 6 years. We had a couple of record deals that we were working on, but people were so mean. They were just terrible. It's just cutthroat. So it kind of soured me on the music industry a little bit, and I still have all my guitars hanging on the walls, mocking me every single day. One of these days I'll get back to it and pick it up, but Mary's a singer, and so she's kind of helping to bring music back into my life. We did a convention in Hawaii a few years ago, and I bought one of these cheap little plastic ukuleles that don't stay in tune, and they're for children. And but this particular convention was so laid back that we could literally come out of the water from snorkeling, go do our panel, dripping wet, and go back into the water. And so
we don't have.
I know, that's okay.
Well, maybe we could.
Yeah.
Take you somewhere.
Yeah. Get a drum and cover it in snow or something. But it was really fun. We did Blue from Cowboy Bebop. We played that live on ukulele, and she was singing, and I was doing background vocals. And we did it with Melissa Fon, who was here last year, right?
Last month.
Oh, last month, right? At the other convention, yes. Yeah. So we're doing little things like that. We played at a friend's wedding in Italy. So I've been picking up the guitar and doing that a little bit more again. And it really is firing up that love for it that I thought I had lost, but it's all still in there.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
A little bit of your romantic.
I know I'll never be the same. Shook my world so hard again. Wish I washed away my sins. He's a dead man walking, blank